My name is Trustee Keisha Thomas, and I am trustee for Fresno Unified School District. The purpose of my visit is to show students that I am Black 365 days a year. It never changes, but the work only becomes more. I am here to support them, be here for them, and to make sure that they know that it is hard work to be who you are. You always have to strive to be your best, even when you fall down. And lastly, remember, don't forget your community and how hard we have to work to make sure our community is one and that we become great individuals in our community to give back to our community. It is so awesome to be here, so great to be here in Black History Month with our students, and let me know anytime you need support, I will be here to help.
Hi, my name is Neil Carter, board member, Washington Unified School District. I have served on the board for close to 20 years. I'm here today to encourage the students to be all they can be and to continue to be successful, stay focused, and continue to stay walking down the path that the journey you have begun. Education is the key to success in life. And also, I just want to also encourage you to be a lifelong learner. I just want to encourage the students here at Washington Unified to continue to be focused and to stay entrenched in their endeavors of education. Education is a vital part of your livelihood from this day forward. As you begin to journey in life, there will be always opportunities to learn, and take that opportunity to learn. Be a lifelong learner and continue to focus. Focus is going to be a key. I often tell different individuals that I do mentor to put blinkers on and have tunnel vision, because there will always be distractions in life to try to get you off the path that you have started on in your efforts to be successful. Again, I just want to continue to applaud you to stay strong, stay focused. You have a great day. God bless you.
I'm Dr. Henry Hendricks, a member of the Washington Unified School Board. I've been a member of the school board for the last 10 years. I have a longer history with Washington Unified School District. I was a student at the old Fresno Colony, which was the original grammar school for the district, and subsequently came back, and I taught government and history here at Washington Union for 19 years. Since that time, I was on the board of directors, of course, at West Fresno Elementary School District before it was unified, and now with Washington, which I had a chance to serve. I'm proud to say that I've watched this district grow, and I'm so optimistic about the future. We have one of the best curricular pathways that I've seen in high schools. And I'm looking forward to the energy that we have. This being Black History Month, it gives me a great deal of pleasure to come out and say to the students, be encouraged. You can be anything that you'd like to be in the future if you just stay focused, and always remember that we have a legacy and a history to be very, very proud of. And if you follow the footsteps of those that have come before you and made those pathways, you can only make it wider, opportunity greater. So I certainly encourage you all to enjoy the month, enjoy your school year, and keep looking forward to how you can make your contribution at a later time.
My name is Eric Payne. I'm the Executive Director of the Central Valley Urban Institute. We're a policy and advocacy organization that centers the needs of low-income communities across the Central Valley. And our home site is Fresno, California. We work to ensure that low-income communities are not left out of the decision-making process, and more importantly, that they have a seat at the table. Our work is rooted in social justice, equity, and so part of that, my personal journey, I am a Washington Union High School alum, a graduate of the class of 2002. And on my journey, I have been fortunate enough to be an elected official, representing in a historic election in 2012, and serving 8 years on the Community College Board, which included Fresno City College, Reedley College, Clovis Community College, Oakhurst, and what we will call our crown jewel, our new West Fresno campus. which I was instrumental in bringing to the neighborhood if you live in Southwest Fresno. One of the things that I really would say that I adhere to in my personal journey, keeps me motivated, that keeps me grounded, is really a quote from Dr. Martin Luther King when he said, "Justice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." And so what that means to me is those that are on the margins, those that are suffering, those that are barely having their basic needs met, just ensuring that the public sector is doing all that we can to level the playing field for everyone. We know that Black families have endured over 400 years of slavery, and so there wasn't a fair start out of the gate. We know that many of our migrant farm worker families have a number of barriers to access and opportunity. And we know that a number of our API families suffer from language access. And so we want to ensure that we are course correcting the institutional wrongs of our government. We believe in a good government. And we believe that in order to ensure that we have good government, we need to have civic participation at all levels. And we need to ensure that there's an intergenerational voice. And what do I mean when I say that? That even our youngest citizens' voices are heard and that their needs are met.
Our Vice President of our BSU is Kylie Roberts, who will be handling our questions today.
All right.
So my first question to you guys is, what is it that you guys do specifically in your current role, and what are some of your biggest challenges? Starting with
some of the things I do in my current role, we currently have a youth engagement component at the Central Valley Urban Institute, recognizing that young people have a really important voice, and it's also getting young people to recognize that the voice that they have can be used in spaces that impact them the most. So if it's school, if it's your neighborhood, tapping into your voice and learning where you can utilize it best to see the type of change in your community that you want to see. So if that means going to a school board meeting and talking about additional resources for a program around diversity, equity, and inclusion, if it's wanting to see more Black teachers and administrators at your school that look like you, or professionals that look like you. We've seen young people in our region tap into their voice when Bullard and Edison High School students staged a walkout across their campus, and they went to their school board and they had a list of demands, and working with that administration to see greater investments in the programming at their respective school sites. It's going to city council meetings and sharing about what a complete neighborhood looks like. Maybe you want sidewalks, maybe you want greater access to or a mom and pop coffee shop, or more better quality housing in your neighborhood, or access to a swimming pool. Those are things that you can utilize your voice for. And so we have a youth leadership academy that we work with young people to help engage them in the civic process and in our democracy. There are other issues at the state level and at the federal level, and we just teach you how to be an advocate and expand and garner the resources in your community that you want to see.
I'll know one if you don't mind. Our lunch is over in 14 minutes. Well, our answers may have to be down to maybe a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, because Mr. Payne took about 5-7 minutes. That's my good friend. Okay, so repeat the question.
what are some things that you do in your current role, and what are some of your biggest challenges?
What I do in my current role is I am an advocate for you all. So if you call me and say, Ms. Thomas, you know what, I'm having trouble, I'm feeling like someone is mistreating me, you call me and I get on it. Okay, let's do some investigations. Let's figure out what it is. Let's figure out how to fix it. I'm the same as these two gentlemen over here and what Eric has done in his past. I advocate for you all. That's it. That's all. And the last piece is that I am trying to make sure that you all know who to reach out to when you have a problem. So that's my next, that's the goal. It's been all the way around. My students in Fresno Unified, they have my phone number. you guys should be able to reach out to these gentlemen and say, hey, you know what? I feel like a teacher is doing this, that, or the other, or my parents are having trouble doing whatever, or I need help with my application for college or whatever. Can you help me? And the answer is always going to be yes. So my ultimate goal is to support you all. I am your president. I am the person that runs the show for you. You need better lunches. You need uniforms for cheerleading. You need football uniforms, basketball, whatever you need, you come to us, and that's what we do. Okay. Thank you.
And for me, I've been with this district for a long, long time. I want to say to you all, the pathways and educational opportunities are here. We're headed in the right direction. What I do on a daily basis is I work with the federal government, I work with the state government, I work with political units all over the country, mayors and other folks on the outside. But my primary interest here at home is to make sure that every opportunity that we can make available to you students is available. And I'm available, Mr. Carter is available. When there's something that you feel that you need our attention for, please don't hesitate to reach out to be there for you.
Thank you.
In a supportive role, again, Ms. Thomas, Mr. Hendricks has said it pretty much said it all. And actually, and I just will add that it's really about, with me, advocacy, making sure we're advocating on your needs, inclusion, equity, make sure you get the same opportunities that everybody else get, in spite of any of the challenges that you may face on a day-to-day basis at home. And it doesn't stop at school with us. Just like you take it home, we do too. Mm-hmm. We take it serious. It's like next month, how many of you are signed up to go to Castle? Raise your hand. That African American Leadership Conference. You have a list. Are going. Those type of opportunities are something that we advocate, Mr. Hendricks and I, to make sure that you are at those type of events, that you can gain all that you can gain. It's really about connecting you and to those opportunities that are above and beyond what we may even offer here. Mm-hmm. We want to make sure that you go to school, continue to go to school. Education is a very, very vital key in your success in life. Be a lifelong learner. Not just, I'm coming to school, learn, take it home with you, learn, get it all. Be the best you can be the best in the school. You're going to need to do that. You're going to need to have that frame of mind. And so we're here advocating for you at our board meetings and beyond. So that's basically what we're doing.
And I'm gonna add a little bit to that, because what you all don't know is we need you all in these spaces. We're not going to be here forever. I don't know when my time clock going to end. So I need for you all to make sure that you understand what we all do, so that you can come into these spaces and be able to push the agenda of learning, of education, of job security, of financial literacy, right? You can't count, you can't read, you can't make money. All right? Okay, I'm done.
So being an advocate, have you guys faced any racism as a politician here in Fresno or the state?
Yeah, I think one of my most contentious moments for me was probably like 2013 when our chancellor, who was pushed out for essentially by our Republican Caucasian board, was pushed out because she was a black woman, and it was the first time in the system's 110-year history that a black woman had led a system like this in Fresno. We're a $1 billion organization. We're one of the top 3 largest employers in the region, 6,000 employees, and we were growing. And so I think when I spoke out against her termination, I received death threats. I received a backlash. I had to have a police escort for roughly about a month and a half that kind of like monitored my activity to ensure that nothing bad happened to me. But also I'm from the hood, so I wasn't scared of anything. It was just kind of like, you're doing this for your own benefit, but I'm not like some of what you probably seen in the media where a council member was at home and some Donald Trump supporters ran up in his house with his kids. Like that would I'm just saying that just not something that would happen to me, Keisha, Mr. Carter, Mr. Hendrick. um, but it is challenging. Institutional racism is real, and it's not just for Black people. It's just if you're a minority, you experience those challenges when you're trying to disrupt a culture that was not built for us.
Right. Yep. And yep. And I'm gonna say yes on multiple levels. I don't want to do a negative run, but yes. And it happens, but we have to figure out a way to push past it and find out how to do better for people and for us to be better. And that goes for us as a Fresno family. That goes for our Hmong people. That goes for our Latinos. That goes for us Black people. That goes for our Indians. That it's all overall. We've all experienced that in some form or fashion. But I'm going to say the biggest piece for me has been over the last couple years when we had to do the walkout at Edison and Bullard, and we had to march down to the school district and say, hey, we're done. Teachers cannot mistreat us. You cannot call us names. You can't use certain words in a space, and we just not going to do it no more. So now I'm firing people. You got to go. If you cannot conform and be good to my babies, and I call you all my babies, then you can't be here. Don't be on me. But you can't be here if you're not here for the greater good of our students. So.
I'd have to say yes. I've seen it at every level, in every dimension. I'm a former deputy city manager for the city of Fresno. Way back before most of you were born in the late 60s. And Fresno is a very conservative area here. And they have never been progressive in terms of integration or any of those kinds of things. Then I was a deputy sheriff, and I patrolled all out in Kalinga and all out in Riverdale. Most times we rode alone. We had that, it was your area, you had it. And you run into all kinds of things and all kinds of things there. But one of the things that we've taken on, and I'm so proud of the folks whose shoulders you'll be standing on, many of them have taken firm positions and they have declared themselves advocates for you, and we continue to carry that message to you. So we're here for you.
And I have to say yes as well. I often say, to be short, is that it's not that you're not going to experience racism. However, it's what you do with it that counts. I just give you one example of one instance that I was in a group and I was the only Black person in there. They were talking about doing some things in our community and this and that, and one of them made a comment about let's do it anyway without considering the community, because Joe Sixpack and those folks won't know any better, as though I wasn't sitting there. I had my comment. First, it stung, and I wanted to just really go there, but I had to maintain, and then I gave them my perspective of it all about Joe Sixpack just not going to do anything about it. And so when you are faced with it, I would just, again, encourage you and what have you, think things through. Being reactive all the time is not the answer, nor is it the solution. Mm-hmm. Even at your young age, you need to begin to consider those things, because I'm sure that you might have yourselves have been faced with some moments that you felt it was a racist attack. Again, as Eric said, that we are from this community and West Fresno, and we didn't see a lot over years. I went to West Fresno School District. I went to Washington Unified. I, along with Hank, was on the board at West Fresno School District when all that turmoil was going on, which we had an all-Black board at that time, in which the paper painted a picture that we were so dysfunctional, in which it was not so. So yes, we have faced some.
Let me make one other comment, and I think it's critical in terms of getting what you asked for. When I was a deputy city manager, I'm the second ever black deputy city manager for the city of Fresno. And when I went to work for Fresno County Sheriff's Department, there was only one other African American there. He was a Tuskegee pilot.
Wow.
He had been a submarine chaser, bomber in World War II. So you can see the changes of things that have evolved. Yeah.
So who knows what a city manager does?
No, what?
A city manager. Who knows what a city manager is? You know what a mayor is, right? So
During the first week of our
okay, so he told them what a city manager does, right? You do? Okay, they don't remember. Can you explain to them what a city manager does?
The city manager has the responsibility of overseeing the welfare of the citizens of the city and then implementing all the programs and all of the departments that a city or a county or whatever that government entity has. That's public works for your housing, for your street cleaning, for any of the other amenities that a city has. And they have a team and a staff. We go back, when I first went on to the city manager's office, I left the sheriff's department, went in there in 1968, so that's a long time ago. But it was a brand new change. They had never seen that kind of thing. And you can imagine what would happen when I walk into a bar in Kalinga in 1965, 66. They had never seen or heard of a black deputy sheriff. So we've seen the changes. We've gone through them. We want you to know and understand.
So the reason why I asked that question is you need to understand the importance and the history. This is history right here. Dr. Hank Hendricks is history. He was the second black city manager, the second one. And there hasn't been very many. Let me just say that. But he was like the right-hand man to the mayor. Like, let's go make some stuff happen for people. So keep that in mind when you're out there looking for jobs to do and you're trying to figure out where do you want to tap in and how you can make a difference for people in Fresno. Okay? Keep that in mind. This is a learning moment. You gotta tap into those spaces. Who wants to be the next mayor? Who wants to run for the next city council position? Thank you. That's real right there. If that's what you want to do, we can help you get there. But there's a space and time in every person's space, every person's world, from education to how you decide to deal with racism. Those are all spaces that you have to tap into, and you have to be very careful because it's real easy as a black man to get in trouble. Like, let's just be real about it, okay? It's real easy for a black woman to get in trouble. So your job right now is to be yourself and keep pushing toward, you can be the youngest one ever. Like, there's spaces for you, and we can help you make that happen. Okay? I want to get your name before I leave.
And let me jump in and say this real quickly. Not only was he the second city manager, but he was the first black board president at Washington Unified.
There you go. There you go.
And as he noted, he serves on BAPAC, which is the Black Political Council. They do have a youth component. He's someone you need to connect with, you need to know, and whatever. He's trying to recruit more young youth that want to get involved off into politics.
That's right.
In other areas, and that's what BAPAC is all about.
Yep. And now's the time. Okay, what's the next one, baby? I think we only have, how long do we have, sir? Dennis, how long do we have? Okay, go till two. Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Well, Ms. Thomas has already started this question.
Uh-oh.
What advice can you give to our students who may consider a career in politics, and how would they be able to get their foot, like, from a perspective?
You only have to be 18 to run for local office. So you're eligible to run for public office as soon as you turn 18. It's probably like 3 pages that you have to fill out: general information, name, address, you live where you say you live, and if you have any money that you're contributing to your campaign, that you disclose that. And then it's really networking after that. You know, it's being a part of these boards. It's being a part of these organizations that you've heard about today. It's finding like-minded people that can support your candidacy. It's just like when you run for a class office. I was an executive officer here at Washington Union when I was in high school and in student government, and it was finding people that I could get to support and vote for me. I was voted for the senior yearbook. I was voted class complainer. And it took a bunch of us to get our slate of folks to get those slots. It took, I was one of the first African Americans in royal court for prom. And it took, finding friends that maybe didn't look like me to vote for me. Going over to the choir folks, going over to, I played soccer and baseball when I was at Washington Union. So getting my teammates to support me. And that's just what it is when you run for public office, for school board, for city council, is getting people that can support you. It's going to your family. It's going to the churches. It's going to the community center. It's hosting events. It's connecting with parents, right? It's connecting with your peers to get to support you. And it's fundraising. So asking all of us for a check, right? Because you can't do it on a shoestring budget, maybe for some of the smaller seats, but when you're talking city council, you got to raise upward to $100,000, maybe 25 just to make it out of the primary. But you can do it. It's achievable, and there are organizations and people that will support you to do those things or these things.
Last. You were talking about politics. Remember this. While you're here in school, you want to absorb everything you can. Learn as much as you can in every one of your subject areas. You never know. Knowledge is no good. You can have all the knowledge in the world. That computer setting up in the bank, it has all the knowledge in the world. But if you can't extract it from that and then take it and make it meaningful and useful in what you want to do, that's when they come to what they call a critical thinking. You can abstract and then you absorb and then you can apply it. And that's one of the things that we encourage you to do is, and Mr. Carter mentioned a minute ago, think through what you're going to do, decide it, and make the decision, and then have the courage to follow through with those decisions. Politics is involved in every stage. And the question that you ask, how do you get involved? You get involved as you are with your school activities here. You learn all that you can, And I say this because you work through, you never know when opportunity is going to present itself. You have to take advantage of it when it goes. I've worked all over the world. I was in the military. I was with the Pentagon, and I was assigned to the embassies, United States embassies across the world. I was the chief surveyor for the ground control for the satellites in North Africa, back as an engineer back in those days. But you come back, and all of those things that you absorb in that process, they become relevant. So where I am and what I'm doing there and other places, we try and work with our board here, our school board. It's been very responsive to us, and make sure that you guys get that opportunity. Make sure you absorb it and do what you can.
And I just want to chime what Hank had just said about the opportunities that you have here at school. And just to give you a heads up, we're going to begin to push the faculty to make sure that we have student board members at our board meetings. There's a ed code that gives us that flexibility that we do embrace student board members to begin to train you at this level to be prepared for the next level. And then the other thing that I wanted to make mention of is that when I was mentioning about BAPAC and that youth component, that's a way to get involved quickly. Also, there are some other educational opportunities that's going to come down the line to you guys, career pathways and stuff. And one is a pathway that we're trying to push a educational component that you can become in Sacramento lobbyists and what have you, because there's a student lobbyist organization that we have talked to, and we're going to try to pull them in there where they can begin to do stuff, probably in the civics class or something. So keep your ears open. If you want to be a lobbyist is a person that go down to Sacramento and hey, talk about the needs and what they would like to see happen. and it's a great opportunity, and it also is a great career to launch you out in any other career that you want.
You can go check. How many captains of any sports team do we have here? You've been a captain of any team. Okay. How many BSU board members
Yep.
do we have here?
It's all right.
BSU, if you're a president, secretary, vice president on our BSU
All
board.
right, all right, all right, all
How
right.
many link crew members do we have here? Link crew
All
members.
Yes.
How many ASB board members? ASB leadership is in you.
Yep.
Okay? We're grooming that leadership. We're preparing you to eventually step into roles like Cindy as our board members. Okay? Take it to heart.
Yeah,
Take
and
it to heart with it.
I just want to say, we didn't come like this. I came up, I was in the projects at Bixby Villa. I went to King's School. I was from the Ville Posse. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, like that, but I had to choose my own pathway. I didn't want to be in a gang. It was some things I didn't want to do because I wanted to be able to progress in a space where I could make things better for kids like me, kids on welfare, kids whose parents was at home all day or on drugs. My birth mother died of an overdose. However, you know what? I was adopted into an awesome family that helped me become an awesome person. When I went to school every day, I didn't want to go to Edison because guess what? They had a daycare center at Edison campus, which meant I probably was going to get pregnant. I didn't want that. I'm just saying that was my perception of myself, the things that I didn't want to do for myself. So I decided to go to a school where I didn't know anybody. I went to Bullard. And I went out there, and you know what? Every day I dressed up because I wanted to be something great. People were like, why you look like you're going to church? Because I might be. I didn't care about what people thought about who I felt like I was. I pushed forward because of who I wanted to be. I was the first Black princess at prom. It was the first that I was able to achieve at Bullard that nobody else had achieved. And this wasn't that long ago. I went to school and saw the word on the wall when I got to school. But guess what? They painted over and pretended like it didn't happen, which you all get what I didn't get. Guess what? We gonna who right about this because you're not gonna keep doing this to me. You're not gonna keep making me feel less than. We're gonna stop some of this negative behavior. And you're going to be able to be okay with me in the room with you. Understand that I might be smarter than you. School was not easy for me. Grades were hard because I didn't have teachers that always understood. So you know what I did? I found the best math teachers. I found the best fourth grade teacher. And I learned from those two people and I became a teacher. And I taught kids math in a way that I could learn it so that they could learn it. And I had some of the best math classes on the campus. They did not want me to leave to be a trustee. They asked me to please stay. And I was making $110,000 a year.
A mathematician.
Yes, period. One of the only Black ones. And I went to making like $1,500 a month. Yeah. Imagine, but I did that for my babies. I did that for you all because I wanted to be able to be in a place where I could make policy. What does policy mean? That means that I can change some things where they can't tell us what to do with our hair. That's what he meant by a lobbyist. We went up to Sacramento. It was like, you can't tell my baby what to do with you can't tell them to cut off their hair. Just because my hair don't look like everybody else's don't mean that you can't tell me what to do with it. Okay? You can't tell, like, why I can't, okay, I understand I can't gang bang in my head. That's cool. But I should be able to have a line or two, right? Because I want to be cute too. My hair don't just flop down, right? So these are the spaces that we're telling you you need to be a part of. You have to embrace other people to be part of BSU so they understand you. BSU not just about Black kids. Being part of a historically Black university, that's not just about Black kids. Right. Everybody. I have Latino doctors, white doctors that have went to HBCUs, and they are awesome individuals. But guess what? They understand. Okay, I'll be quiet.
Yeah. No.
I'm getting hot.
I think what she's saying is very true. I think like I have also been where you're sitting in the exact same library. I think that for me, that experience was finding community here at Washington Union in BSU, because recognizing that outside of BSU, students didn't look like me. Mm-hmm. They didn't act like me. They didn't come from the dog pound, mm-hmm. right? Like that was not their lived experience. Like you look over in the parking lot, it was kids driving Mercedes-Benzes, old schools, classic cars, right, on the bus, right? And it's challenging. And so the economics are different, but recognizing that there's brilliance in this room, that there's Black excellence in this room, and recognizing that there's opportunity beyond Washington Union High School that they're preparing you for.
That's right.
Right? Like maybe I didn't have I had a Mr. Randle, but I didn't have a Mr. Randle in my life here at the school feeding into me like he's feeding into you all. Right? Looking at HBCUs as a platform, right? Like I was in student government, I was in the FFA, I was showing hogs. Don't laugh at me showing hogs because I was cashing that check as soon as I sold it at auction.
How about that?
Looking at, I was in, we had Panther Update back in the day, so that was the school newspaper, morning announcements. I was doing all that, but it was preparing me for something greater, right? Like not much has changed. I still have Miss Dean. I think she worked across the hall, right? Like, oh, she retired last year. Okay, so Mr. Sherfy, like a lot of those teachers, like I was in their class. And so, but those are the type of individuals that prepared me for my college experience. I chose a historical Black college and university when I had my career counselor telling me that I should probably consider something else, even though I was in the top 10 of my class. I had over a 3.2 GPA, right? I passed the governor's AP exam, right? Like, but you have to be hungry for it, and you have to want better for yourself. It's not going to come from, people in the neighborhood, right? Like you gotta assess your personal board of directors, right? Who are your friends? Are your friends encouraging you? Are they telling you, man, you got the ACT coming up, you got the SAT coming up, right? Like, are you prepared? Did you register for that class? State Center Community College has dual enrollment. Are you taking the dual enrollment courses that are being offered here at your campus? Have you listed out the 10 colleges that you want to go to that you're researching? Maybe you want to go play football. Maybe you want to go play soccer, right? Or not. Or maybe you just want a really good academic program that can foster your growth, like math, like science, right? Going into the majors that they say that we're not supposed to go into, right? And you excel in them. And so just really researching what your career path and your journey is going to look like and making it work for you, and make sure you meet those deadlines and you have a strong support network.
And I'm going to add a little bit to that, and then we can move on, is this: embrace each other. Like, you're not supposed to be haters of each other. We got enough people hating us. Do you know Black people are have the highest hate rate in America? We have the highest hate rate in America, and guess what? We hate each other too. Okay? You don't fight each other. Like, talk it out. Like, you got my dude. No. He not yours because you're not married to him. Okay? And he's still not yours because guess what? He's his own man and he has to make his own choices. And that go the same for men. Stop hating each other. Talk it out. Hey, you know what, Mr. Dennis, I got a problem because I really don't understand. Like, why is she looking at me like that? You know what? Hey, how you doing? You looking at me because I'm cute, right? Just saying. There's a this and a that. Some people look at you because they think you're a beautiful individual, not because they want to fight you or because they think that something's wrong with you. It's okay. It's all right if somebody look at you. Did their eyes hit you upside your head? No, it didn't. So start finding other ways to embrace each other, love each other. Like, I love my Blackness. I love all my other things that's inside me, but I love my Blackness. When I go to DC, woo-wee, get outside of Fresno. People love their Blackness. They love being mixed. They love whatever they are. You go to DC, you go to Florida, you go to Atlanta, you go to, like, it's a whole nother world out there, you guys. Go experience it, but come back home and bring it back.
And make Fresno great.
And make Fresno great.
Who's that math teacher on campus that you guys go to?
Hey, Miss Chambers.
Miss Chambers, that's that Black math teacher that looks just like you.
Yeah.
You should be going to. Okay? Who makes our morning announcement? Sitting right there, right? Just like Eric just said, right? Okay? Makes no morning announcement. Who's the number 2 academic senior graduating this year?
Uh-oh.
He's sitting right back there.
Where he at? Where he at? Where he at? That's what I'm talking about.
So I echo the sentiment There is greatness in this room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be a straight A. I was not a straight A student. Woo wee, I struggled.
And we
I
didn't
did.
and we didn't make perfect decisions in high school.
Well, yeah, I did.
Cause I didn't. I can tell you, I got into a fight
It's after high school.
right when they was bullying Jack, who was in special ed, and they were bullying him. And I told them the guys to stop bullying him. They wouldn't stop bullying him. He was getting really upset, and I just took flight on him. And then it evolved into
Other stuff.
other stuff. It
So,
involved me
again-
catching the bus to your bus stop, right? Like it's not all positive, right?
Right.
Like, right.
No,
It's not.
positive. But that's life.
But that's the
We
reality,
make mistakes.
right?
We make mistakes. We reel it back in, and we do better.
Right.
Right. So, huh? No, you talk to an adult.
Right.
It's not me and Eric is into it. It's not good for me to talk to him right now because guess what? My upset my level is up in 10. So I'm gonna talk to him first, calm down, then go back and me and him can have a conversation. But you can't talk to somebody when you're upset, like because you're in your feelings, right?
Yeah.
So there's a way to do everything, and that's that social emotional support that people keep talking about, right? Which is not always a safe place in family. Because if I told my dad, like, hey, I need to go see the psychiatrist because, like, dude, I got some problems at school, he would have been like, you crazy? Like, literally. So, but now it's more accepted. You can go talk to Mr. Randles. You can go talk to Dr. Hendricks. You can go talk to, you got spaces.
Yeah.
Dr. Carter. You can go, you got your teacher back there.
All right.
You have people you can, and they don't have to be black. It could just be somebody you just really trust.
That's it.
Okay?
Right.
So I'm saying stop fighting against each other and start pushing each other to the next level.
And I want to ask the question: how many of you got somebody that you know you can go to and you can
Trust
in
just
school? Really trust.
Trust in school.
Just
In school. Like I got a problem right now. I need to talk to Miss Thomas. Who got a person in school that they can trust? Now, I want you to hold your hands up because I want to take a statistic.
And listen.
Y'all have.
For those of you who don't
listen.
For those of you who don't have a person that you can trust, find somebody quickly. You're in high school now. You're on your way to adulthood. You need somebody to be able to go and talk to. Mm-hmm. I'm a pastor in the neighborhood. You can come and talk to me. You can talk to Hank. You can talk to Keisha. You can talk to Eric. We are making ourselves available to you right now. Don't let nobody tell you what you can't be and what you can't do, because you can do everything and you can be what you want to be. Mm-hmm. You can be your own worst enemy or you can be your own best friend. Mm-hmm. Do what's necessary. And when you're making these connections that we're talking about with us, with others, and getting involved in this, it will open up other doors. Mm-hmm. Keisha and myself, we are delegates on the California State Board Association. Mm-hmm. Hank was president of the California Black Board Association. Have all kind of other connections because of that. We have people we can go to. We need to go to people to talk to as well. So don't be afraid and whatever, and don't be so tough that you can't go to somebody and talk to them. But make sure it's somebody you can trust. Right. Make sure you know it's somebody that's not going to take what you say and spin it all around and utilize it against you.
Yeah. Because you can make mistakes, but you can recover from them. You can learn from those mistakes. Yeah. That's just a part of life.
Information that our panel is sharing with us. We're down to our last question before our team takes class. So, any last parting advice, and we'll go from members down the road.
I'll start. Jackie, do I have any business cards? Maybe, possibly. I'm gonna make sure everybody has my number before I leave here today. Okay, I have a QR code. You hit the QR code with your phone and it'll give you all the information you need about me when you're walking out the door. So I just want you all to know that anything, I don't care if you like, we just got put out our house, like Miss Thomas, I need help. I don't care. I need look, my shoes busted. I don't care what it is. I don't have a coat. I don't have food. I need a meal. Don't be playing with me though. Okay? I'm serious. Like, I'm talking about serious business. Like, Miss Thomas, I don't have anywhere else to go. Call me. And one of us will make, I'm not saying just me gonna make it. One of us will make it happen. If I can't do it, my boy Eric gonna do it. If he can't do it, Dr. Hendricks is going to do it. If he can't do it, Dr. Carter going to do it. Somebody is going to do it. So I'm just saying, my last piece of advice is I'm always here for my kids, my babies, and I'm always riding for you. So anything you need, hit me up. Fair enough? All right.
And then looking around, I'm pretty positive, as you know us today, we know your people if you are from Fresno. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so we are family. I was telling Miss Roberts here that Hank, matter of fact, I used to do some coaching over West Fresno, so I know her aunties and stuff like that, and very close, and her grandpa. And her grandpa and him went to school together. And so we go back, and I talked to little Miss Bonner there. She said, I know you. I said, yeah, you do. And so that's what we're here for. We're a family. And we want to treat you like family. We want to see you succeed. Your success is my success. And I will always remember you. And I'll always be there for you. Only thing you have to do is you have to be strong enough to utilize the help that you are being offered. I always tell them, and I'm going to let them say, I always tell my congregation and others that I talk to, if I give you one thing to do and you don't do that, that shows me that you don't want to do nothing. In your time is valuable. My time is valuable. Mr. Randall's time is valuable. Your math teacher's time is valuable.
Yep.
And that's something you can't get back.
Right.
But you can always give back. Again, find somebody. We're here today. Utilize it. Be proactive, not inactive.
And
Yeah, I just wanted to say to you, I've got a lot of time and years tied up in this district. I see you young folks now, you're engaging. It's very, very important, very critical. Continue to engage. And they're committed, and Mr. Carter is already committed. We're going to open up every pathway we can for you. We want you to be able to take advantage of the opportunities. And do not ever consider yourself anything but a child of God and a first-class citizen.
Amen.
And move forward with all of your commitments and love, and she was saying, love each other. One of the things I find, I was talking to the former mayor of Oakland this morning on a matter, but we're discovering more and more relevant to us at this level is that people work in silos. Everything they do is the most important thing in the world, in every city. And over the years, we've kind of separated ourselves from collectively coming together and deciding how we're going to prioritize those things that we're going to do. Very important. That's that critical thinking part. And if you continue to practice what you're doing in the political learning stages, you'll be able to do that and apply it.
And I'll leave you with this. Dr. King said an injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And so I want to challenge you, when you see injustice taking place in the space that you occupy, that you will use your voice and that you would change the narrative that is playing out. Because we need to build community, we need to support each other, and most importantly, we need to love each other.
That's right. I have one story I'm going to share with you all, a success story. So the Londons are my nephews, Montreal, London, all the Londons that went here. So my nephew Montreal called me. He said, "Auntie, I want to be a police officer." You know what he doing today? He a police officer. I made it happen for him because that's been his dream. Everybody want to hate the police, but if you are the police, you get where I'm going with this? If you're taking those jobs as being first responders, it's called first responders. If you're becoming the police so you can police your own areas and you know the people, like, oh, Miss Keisha, that's you. Oh, okay, I pulled you over. Slow down. Get it? If you're a part of that space where you are a paramedic and you see one of your friends, people, you trying to save them, but that's your people. Start moving into those areas. It's okay to be the police, but be good police. Teach people how to be good police. Teach people how to be good doctors. Teach people how to be good lawyers. Teach people how to be there for some people that need you wholeheartedly. We need to take those jobs and we need to be in those positions so we're not always complaining about how the police is doing us. We are the police, right? All right. I love you guys. I appreciate being here. Go ahead.
We heard that message just last week, right?
Yeah.
Who was on the panel last? Alumni Sergeant Grady, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gave the same message. The reason he's a police officer because he wanted to be sure that when he policed this community, that his people were treated correctly. Yep. The same thing he encouraged you guys to do as he's now a recruiter for the police department. You guys are coming in.
Can I have my other phone?
He wants to be sure that he's policed correctly as well.
And Dr.
Quickly, no problem. Quickly, make sure you pay attention and take to heart what's being given to you. And what came to mind when Keisha was talking, you can either be a success or you can be a statistic. Which one do you want to be?